Alright, let's go everybody. Washed up against Disgusting. Yeah, we got the next round and we're actually in best of 3 territory right now. So at this point we have a pretty good setup here for Washed Up to make it to the next round, but after the initial victory that we saw for Disgusting, in a pretty highly contested match, we have them now go up against the double tournament champion. I mean, Washed Up was able to win 2 in a row. And we'll actually see how this is going to work out for them this time. I mean, of course, they are a contender for the grand final again and to win the 3rd tournament in a row here. Feel the Heat is one of the teams that is going to try and prevent that as much as they can. But it's going to be interesting for sure, because Washed Up and Feel the Heat are pretty much the only 2 teams right now that are regularly training. Lauber's fan club is not really playing anymore. I don't really want to say that the team disbanded, but Lauber's taking a little bit of a break, so maybe the team is on hold is the best description that we currently can give here. And at the same time, when you're talking about other teams, for example, Last Dance, they kind of banded together for one single tournament or tournament series, and that was pretty much it. So they were never really supposed to be a consistent part of the esports scene in Europe anymore. I mean, obviously, if they would have decided to do that, that would have been great, but it was never really in the cards. So now we have pretty much 2 very active teams that are obviously a little bit ahead of the curve here. With the bans coming in, we got May taken as the first pick, but the same ban pattern that they already showcased on the last map. So it was actually not so much that they banned out heroes that they felt were strong for the other team, but just heroes they don't want to go up against in general. And that's Cassia and Medivh. And we have Tracer coming in as the first pick together with Imperius. Honestly, that reminds me a little bit of the draft on the last map. It's the same map again, even though in this case it's kicking us off into a best of 3 series. But it's kind of funny to see that they're actually going for more or less the same draft at this point. We got Tracer, we got Imperius. Nick on Tracer is already a little bit terrifying, that one's for sure. And in addition to that, we now got a Greymane locked into plus Malfurion. Alright, Rutek actually has that. Okay, so we finally have a little bit of a deviation away from the former game. It would have been kind of funny, I gotta admit, though, if they would have gone for the exact same setup, considering it's 2 different teams playing. But yeah, Greymane is in, Malfurion as well. So this time, of course, they know a little bit earlier that Tracer is playing against them. So they're already trying to take some steps to shut her down. Malfurion gets picked for multiple reasons. Obviously, he's a great support, but he's also the best support that works together with Tracer. So you want to take it away. And you can play Greymane against Tracer too, which really helps them as well. At the same time now, Zarya gets banned quickly over here. You don't want to have the extra shield on Tracer available, and of course you have a whole lot of sustain if you go for a Zarya play too. But let's see what Washed Up is going to go for. I mean, they got Ixia in, so they still have 1 sub player that they're playing with today, who this time plays on the offlane. Not his Probius though. We see Ixia with Rexa, so it's not going to be a Brightwing play today. But Banana Age is identifying as an old man lately, so he's going for Deckard Cain if he doesn't get his granny, and Ana was already banned out by them since they don't have first pick or first ban. So the old man it is. Hit him with the stick, baby. And for Akunis and Alvarus, the last 2 picks here, we got Kel'Thas and Deathwing. Alright. The big bad dragon makes it in immediately. And last but not least, the Germans. Hazu, what is he gonna get? Is it hammer time today? Or are we gonna get something completely different? I mean, Junkrat is still open if they want to go for a play around that. Auto attacks would also be kind of nice now if they want to go for a little bit of hammer action. But then it would give them 2 auto attackers pretty much, but they go for Tychus instead. Who we see a little bit more often. I mean, again, through the bigger they are, you can burn Deathwing down, so there's a lot of arguments for Tychus lately, now that he is a bit buffed. And that kicks us off for map number 1 in the best of 3 series here in the quarterfinals. Will Sky Foundries, ladies and gentlemen. Washed Up against Disgusting. Alright, let's go. Itrax finally was able to load into the game. Took him a while, but here we are. We got our first map ready in the best of 3 series, Volskaya Foundry. Hazops on Tigers for Washed Up. We got Ixia on Rexa. Badana H on Deckard Kane, Masquerader and Imperius. And Nick is playing Tracer. To the right side of the map, Disgusting with Itrax on Greymane. We got Rutek on Malfurion, Lavakal on May, Akunis on Deathwing, and Alvaros is playing Kelthas. Alright, let's go. Yeah, Flir's talent already. We got the flare here for Rexa. It's actually kind of fun to see Ixia on the side lane. He obviously played for his previous team quite a bit of Probius in a lot of the qualification tournaments that they played around Division S, so that was kind of cool to see too. But his support was pretty nasty last week as he subbed in. But now there's only one player missing today, so with Banana Age now playing on the support, they still need him on the side lane, and that's exactly the role that he's taking here. We obviously at the same time now also have Disgusting starting the rotation. Deathwing is the one who's trying to now move down to the bottom of the map. And Nick, Nick, he just doesn't know boundaries, you know? He goes deep and just waits for the dragon to make a move, and he's just saying like, dude, I am going to tickle you 6 days to Sunday until you roll over and finally die. So that's what he's currently trying to do right here. We have him finally at the bottom of the map going toe-to-toe with Misha and Rexa. But there's already the early grab at the items. It's time for some turrets. Yeah, it's getting this one easily. Interesting part is that Washed Up is going straight in for the healing beacon here, which could honestly be contested. I mean, if they try... Nah, they're going to be a little bit too late. Deathwing isn't here. But yeah, they're sliding in. They're actually trying. They're going for it. It's a 4 versus 4, at least for now. There comes Itrax, but we also have Misha coming through. And that's the opening kill as May goes down. And the healing beacon is taken by Banana H. Alright. Banana H is able to grab this one up. And now, of course, they need to move down to the bottom of the map to take their own turret camp here. But this is always the one gamble that you have available for your team. If your opponent goes for the turrets, you have an opportunity to slide in and take the healing beacon, and then they take this one late. Now, it comes also with a bit of a downside, because it means that as the first objective is up, this one is not going to spawn in time to give them a second turret, whereas Disgusting can, of course, try and get exactly that. But again, you got that healing beacon available, so that's nice. Also for Deathwing, this time we got the Dragon Soul and the Heat Wave coming through in terms of talents. Strangling Vines for Malfurion, and the bigger they are, as usual, for Tigers. Okay, so there's that. Down to the bottom of the map. The dragon against the bear. Misha is fierce. She doesn't care. She comes in and just says like, alright, dragon, screw the dragon. I'm going to take this. Yeah, and in the meantime, they're going up towards the top side for the gank, and that was a very good setup here. That's a kill against Imperius. Nicely done. Nick is still dancing around them and is not allowing them to set that second kill up. But even taking Imperius alone down was already worth it. A bit of a burn in the middle, as Akunis is obviously getting taken by Hazops now. And since we have the level 4 talent for Tigers, it's starting to get a little bit more dangerous for him too, so you gotta be careful around that. But here comes another jump, and always the attempt to get another kill in. And I mean, they are doing well. They are doing what they can here in the attempt to get another quick kill connected. But it's also about the first objective. I mean, that's the big opportunity right now to start and take a pretty significant lead in this one. If you get the first protector, you can, in ideal case, take a fort down. But even if that doesn't happen, just eliminating some of the fountains for the second objective is already a big win, and take some walls down too. Nick needs to be careful too. There's a lot of CC that he has to dodge out on, but the position has been taken by Disgusting. They're on the point now, and yeah, the progress is ticking. 70% for them. Lavakal with a Cryo Freeze. Nick comes in, wants to kill, but May just slides away. Tornado is already up. That's the first one. Hazu is a bit low. Banana H still not committing to his healing beacon, waiting this one out. Oftentimes, of course, it goes pretty late. And now on level 7, we have the standard talent locked and loaded for Tracer. Okay, so far so good. And it's item time. And again, this is the big difference. That you can take this item now, the second turret, Whereas over to the other side for Washed Up, this one is actually coming up now too. What? Am I high? Ah, they didn't take it right away. Okay, so that's why. Alright, sorry. Didn't realize that it was already on the minimap for a little bit longer. My bad. Could have taken it earlier and then go into the fight with the double, but now this time they took it a bit slow. Oh, good stun. He can't get the follow-up against Nick though. And the item, of course, still not taken yet, but the turret gets burned down immediately. And they still have one on their own. They drop both of the items now, and they have 99% on the counter, so they are really starting to completely take control here and get the first protector. Washed Up, once again, absolutely solid here on the first objective. Wait with all of the items and deploy them super late when they finally are able to take control of the point. And when it really matters, they zone out Disgusting, and now they can make a rotation topside after initially doing some damage to the middle of the map and taking the wall down, and off we go. There's the move right there towards the fountain. He plays this a little bit slow. We still got the rest of the team already running around here. They try to take the wall down, and the first tower is about to fall, but still haven't even scratched the fountain. I mean, they want to go for it, but they're not just there yet. Relentless Soldier, by the way, on level 7 for Taika, so going into the newly changed talent, has been increased a little bit, the damage reduction, and the armor have been increased. And now we're also about to see level 10 abilities coming in for both sides. And still a slide around here. By the way, here the Netherwind again, as usual. This is still one of the talents that always amazes me the most, because for some reason you don't really see it taken reliably in the lower leagues when you look at the amateur scene, and it's kind of crazy since it's on the higher level of play, just such a standard talent to grab with Khaldor, but for some reason whenever you look at an amateur game they don't like it at all. As the setup, really nice snowball, and that snowball took down Imperius, and boom! The second kill coming in too, as they're going straight in for Tracer. You gotta give it to Disgusting. They are not giving this one up lightly. That's 3 kills against 1. And here another look at how you play with a snowball, baby. I mean, look at this. Snowball beautifully into the range of the 4. That's an easy kill. And then just behind that, they're getting a kill against Tracer too. So that allows them to now go up here towards the top for the fight. They burn Misha down and they take their healing beacon. Rutek has to commit to his ult, but that was solid. Nicely done. 1 kill against 4. And off we go. Taking the wall down right here. And the turret eliminated. That's already the quest completed for Khaldor, so that makes his life a lot easier right now. Yeah, and Washed Up is falling behind, guys. Washed Up is falling behind. They are a level behind. They are 3 kills behind. They might have won the first objective, but they're starting to lose a bit of ground here. So they still have to be careful around this. This is not as easy as they thought. Everybody, of course, expects them to go to the grand final again, but Disgusting is having other plans. Disgusting is clearly showing that they are a team that you can't take too lightly, and if given the opportunity, they are more than happy to take one of the favorites out in the tournament here. So, down to the bottom of the map, more items are now taken. Disgusting is doing what they can to keep an item advantage over their opponent. Next objective still is going to need some time until it's announced. A little bit of a trap over here towards the healing beacon, so there's that. 19 stacks on the level 4 for Rexa. And they're still dodging around here. Masquerade needs to be a bit careful. Where's the avalanche when you need it? Well, they don't even need it. What am I talking about? Needing the avalanche? No, they're gonna take him down regardless. That's a dead Imperius, so that backfired quickly against them. Nick is, of course, trying to salvage the situation with the counter kill, but instead he is about to be taken down too. Nick is dead, and that's another 2 kills for Disgusting. Ladies, they're crushing. They're absolutely crushing right now. That is 6 kills against 1 level 13 talent and full control over to the top side right here. Yeah, pretty impressive. I gotta say, Disgusting. Having a very, very good opening and also now trying to take the fountain down, and they might just have enough time to go for that thing. They don't have broccoli, or they could soak a couple of the shots of the fort, and that would allow Greymane to go a bit deeper and take it down. But he gets close, but it's not enough. No, it's not enough. Alright, a little bit of CC on their own. 5 versus 5. right there. And the lead still for Disgusting. But again, 13 talents are there for both teams, so that's pretty much half the battle already. That's what you're trying to accomplish here. Level 13 talent also, the Ruination, now once again. And with that little setup, we are going straight into our next fight. Controller has been taken by Washed Up, at least for now. There's no chance to get a level 16 talent for either one of these teams. But Disgusting is hoping to set up another kill, of course. They got the CC, for sure. They've proven it several times now. There's also another mech down. So that means another biotic emitter is ready. It could go for the healing beacon. There's always the poke. Khaldor is trying to get something out of the Paramaniac now as well. Here's Odin, already committed to Hazu. Jumping back immediately, moving back in with the team, and off we go with the Avalanche, isolating Masquerade for just a moment, pushing him back. Atrax is in trouble though, and Greymane is down. Bad way to kick off the fight for Disgusting. Fantastic for Washed Up, as they are looking for a follow-up kill and try to grab another objective. They're at 81% already. Deathwing moves out. May is on the run and gets locked down just by the tip of Deckard Cain's triangle. Sealed down, and that's a second kill. Khaldor is trying to at least take Hazorps out, but he can't. And just like that, Washed Up on their way to grab another objective, the second protector in their hands. The map opened up as well. They have the opportunity to go for another healing beacon, as we already have the protector moving through the top side, breaking the wall down, and of course the fort should be falling soon. Yeah, well done. That's exactly how you want to play it over here. Washed Up falling behind, but when it matters, they're there. When it really matters, they're there with the kills. Nick still dancing around everybody, still looking for an opportunity to get more kills. Has of course to dance away from Greymane the entire time, but he's sitting at 40,000 damage and therefore holds the top damage in the game. Just a little bit ahead of Deathwing, Greymane, and Tychus. And at the bottom of the map, Ixia is already getting additional experience for the team, trying to push this out, maybe towards the fountain, so that they can claim this one too, and prepare for the next objective. And let's see. Over here, Akunis is already on Deathwing, trying to do his thing now as well. Stop the Protector. Honestly, they could go for a wrestling match. It would be great if you had like a different animation when you go up against one of the objectives. Just like Deathwing going on his hind legs and just like wrestling the Protector down. That's an idea, Blizzard, right there. Free of charge. You can thank me later. 16 versus 16. Talents are in. And off we go. Sizzling attacks for Tychus. And Tychus can, in this game, now get more and more damage through. Once that we have big red button, then of course even more so. Here come the boars getting unleashed, and they're locked down. Problem for Khaldor for just a second, but he has the shield up and can use that pretty easily. So yeah, shield is up and nicely done. Okay. So, with that little setup, what else? We have now in the middle, everybody trying to get some extra experience. All about the items again. But they're super close in experience still. I mean, there is a gap in kills, but now there's a lead in structures for Washed Up that makes more than up for it. The bigger problem is definitely what exactly is happening around the next objective, because so far everybody still has their fountain on the bottom of the map. That's going to be important. Nick just waiting in the shadows over here. Okay. Waiting for an opportunity to jump in and see if he can get a kill against the backliners. Not right now. But he's always just lurking. He's always lurking, always waiting for a chance. Now we got also Ignite. Ignite is up. For a little bit of extra damage that you can get if you connect that Flame Strike. Already, Nick trying to get the kill with the rest of the team, and they take him down. Khaldor is dead, and now they're getting the damage in against the fort itself, and Washed Up is absolutely capitalizing again to a maximum effect on that kill, and then jumping in from all sides. They even save Misha over here, and Nick isn't done yet. Nick wants more, and he might actually get it. Yep, they're gonna get another kill against Greymane, as Hazorps came in to help out, and slowly but steadily Disgusting is cracking. Too much pressure, apparently. Starting to become a pretty big problem for them. And Nick is just doing Nick things. I mean, honestly, Nick is just a category in and of itself. So now with another healing beacon up, they have another chance to go for item. They already hold one healing beacon. This would be their second one. They still have only a slight lead in experience, but it's there. And the bigger issue, of course, is that map control is now completely taken by Washed Up. I mean, to an extent. They have a level ahead. They get the extra kills in. It's not like they have the third protector locked in for sure already. Comes down a bit to whether or not Disgusting is able to catch up in experience and maybe get a kill on their own. They got a few isolated kills earlier, so it's not like they're not capable of doing it. But it's starting to become a little bit more tricky because the item situation is heavily leaning in favor of Washed Up. 2 healing beacons already? That's tricky. And then we got turrets too. Nick is already aiming for the camp top side, as he's now trying to get a little bit more pressure at the top lane, which would then of course pressure the keep itself. But yeah, there we go. Akunis already trying to open this up. And Washed Up is playing this slow. Washed Up gets another item, so that's a second turret for them. So they have 2 turrets and 2 healing beacons now. And obviously the idea is to get level 20. They're only half a level ahead. Behind. So they are simply asking, why would we attack into them now? We wait for Storm Talents and then we get it for free. Unless, of course, they want to fight against Storm Talents, which would be more or less suicide. So yeah. We have the red team trying to take the position for as long as they can. But now they're falling back. Level 20 is in. Seraphim is taken. Impervious. We don't have a URL in this game. Big red button. Kill command. Respect the elderly. And they're stealing another one away. Every single hero on this team has an item now. And they're easily taking the fort down at the bottom of the map. There is still a chance for a level 20 fight though, around the protector. Disgusting is now moving in to take those minion waves down. And they should be able to get at least incredibly close to 20. If not able to get it. The problem is with this push at the bottom of the map, they're now also forced to fall back and defend their wall. So it makes it a little bit harder to get the experience here. 44%, but they still can push out now. That's level 20 right there. That's 20. There's the 20 and there's the chance. This is the chance to make a play and go and defend and go for the protector. They're trying, they're starting to move in, and this is more or less the fight. If you win this one, you're in a good position. If not, then you are struggling. So, yeah, let's go. Over here, 83, 84%. Lavakal is taking the spot. Here comes the old man. Beautiful setup against him. But Banana H is still alive, but not for much longer. There's the kill, and that's exactly the one that they needed. Fantastic kill, but here come the counters. 1 down, 2 down, and with another lunge, they're coming in with another attempt to drop Tracer now too. The Protector is already taken. That's a beautiful setup for Washed Up now. They lost the old man, but there's at least that. So now as we're seeing them pushing slowly forward, just look at this. That was May after they killed Deckard Cain, trying to get away with Deathwing. Both of them die. And that leads to also the ult on Malfurion. The Protector is taken, and now they can use it to move straight in for the keep itself. Big lead for Washed Up, and they're nearly closed the gap now on the kills too. And of course with this, they even want more. They still have a 4 versus 3, and they got the Protector on 71%. If they can't kill the core, then they at least can do a lot of damage to it, and they might just be able to end it here after all. But this is looking like we might see the end of game number 1. Washed Up is going in for the victory, they're going in for the win, and this is looking better by the second. The kill against Greymane seals it, and that's the lead for Washed Up in the best of 3 series here at the final Panda Cup qualifier. GG, and well played. Infernal Shrines, game number 2, Washed Up, turning it around again, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, you got them in the lead here, but I gotta say, Disgusting actually did fairly well. And for at least the early game, well, parts of the mid game too, it looked like Disgusting might just be able to win this after all. So did not quite come through like that. But let's have a little bit of a look at game number 2 and see if Disgusting maybe can turn this. It's, by the way, the map choice of Washed Up. So first pick, first ban goes over to Disgusting as they lost the last map. So therefore Washed Up has the choice of map and went into Infernal Shrines. Leads me to believe a little bit that Towers of Doom was actually banned out, since this has been more or less a go-to for them in the past. And here comes the Medivh ban again. I kind of want to see if the Cassia gets banned out immediately on the second ban point, because Disgusting has been very consistent on that. But they go for Kerrigan instead. Okay, maybe they themselves now go for Cassia, since they have first pick. But they definitely don't want to go up against Nick's Kerrigan. And who could blame them, right? That's pretty much an insta-win whenever that happens. So with that said, we now have our first pick. Cassia or no Cassia? That's a bigger question. Are they going to go for it, yes or no? Right. Well, that's actually a very big delay for the first one. It's Imperious, okay. So they leave Cassia open. And what else are we going to get? Cassia is now open and could be taken. I mean, Nick played her quite a bit. So there's that. Both of the teams actually a little bit more hesitant right now with the picks. Usually when you look at the early rotations, at least, the first pick on each side is pretty snappy. It's like one after another. Not so much here. There's Cassia for Nick, as more or less expected. And Masquerade is going for Jojo. Okay, so we got a pretty solid setup with that. And yeah, what else? I mean, for now, they still need a bit of a follow-up here. They got Imperious already. We have Wave Clear on Johanna's side. If they want to have a side laner with Wave Clear, they need to think about Blaze at least. And of course, there's Leo available too. So there's actually a couple of good options for them. But damage is also still up for the taking. And they actually go for ETC. ETC and Jaina. Okay. So with that, we got ETC and Jaina set up, which gives us maybe not as much wave clear on the front as they usually would like to have, but that's a very nice setup with good stuns that can set a kill up for Jaina to go through. So that's fantastic. And yeah, Anna is banned out, so you don't get a nano boost for her. But if you can get anybody else with a bit more auto attack damage, we need too. I mean, even Greymane. If they want to play Greymane again, then they can, for example, go stuns, bullet, and then Blizzard. I suppose we're still going to see the Water Elemental over the Ring of Frost, just simply because the 20 is so insanely busted. But still, they have options. That's what I want to say here. The ban against Malfurion, and we have the ban on Junkrat. So the Malfurion ban, they're going to take a Kayn again. It's going to be a Decker Kayn pick now. But the ban against Malfurion, pretty much so that an ETC power slide can't be followed up by a Malfurion route and lock the target down even further for Jaina and whatever second damage dealer they're going to bring in. But yeah, very likely Banana Age is going to go into that. So yeah, let's see. Off we go. D.Va! Ixia! Ixia is going for White Mane. Sorry, Banana Age is going for White Mane, and Ixia is going for D.Va. Okay. One of the most useless heroes in the game, but if anybody can make it work, then it's Mr. Special hero, Mr. Specialist himself, the man who plays Probius on the side lane too. So a D.Va setup. Do we get any kind of lockdown that you can maybe throw them in the bomb or something? Apparently not. But there's the Lucy on the other side, and we get Sonya. Okay, this just got wild. We actually have a D.Va in play. That's insane. D.Va is probably, in my personal opinion, D.Va is one of the most useless heroes that we have in the game. She's at least top 3, together with heroes like Artanis and Brightwing. I mean, I guess Brightwing for Ixia is at least the hero that he can get a lot of value out, but he's one of the few. But D.Va is, let's call her situational. That's probably the best description here. Let's go for the more PC setup. But Hazu goes for Sergeant Hammer, and so D.Va can provide a little bit of space for him. Johanna can do that too. So space created, and the D.Va bomb. I mean, if you take her on any map, Infernal Shrines is probably it. We've seen it from the Australian teams in HGC, from Fat94 for exactly that reason. Space created, you can take control over the shrine. So yeah, let's go. Infernal Shrines, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 2. Game number 2, D.Va baby. All right, a little bit of playtime over here with Washed Up on Infernal Shrine starting on the left in blue. We got Hazorbs on Sergeant Hammer, Nick on Cassia, Ixia playing D.Va, Banana Age on White Mane, and Masquerade on Jojo. To the right side of the map, Disgusting with Itrax on Imperious. We got Akunis on Sonya, Rutek on Lucio, Lavakal on ETC, and Alvaros is playing Jaina. Every single time you have it tracks in a game, you know once that the loading screen hits that you can just simply go down to the basement again, grab yourself a beer, and when you come back the game still hasn't started, so it's actually kind of neat to know that. But he definitely has a bit of a hamster trying to do his best to get that PC power out of his, or at least the modem. I have no idea what's going on there, but it gives you a little bit more wiggle room when it comes to the loading screen, because he needs his time. So okay, with this setup, we now already have our little skirmish in the middle. The only one that's missing is Khaldor. He's currently sitting down at the bottom of the map. Hammer time again, as this is coming up. And, well, let's have a little bit of a look of whether or not Khaldor is going to be able to dominate. They have nice zone control. I mean, that's the one thing that you really have to give the team here. Now, they're playing with D.Va, and some of this might be them just trying to up the ante a little bit and make the game more interesting. But, of course, we also have D.Va played by their sub-player today. And Ixia has always been a little bit of a special snowflake. And I mean this in the best way of the word. He has some pretty interesting heroes that he plays on the offlane. We have seen Probius, I mentioned it before, when he plays supports, he's very heavily leaning towards Brightwing and Lucio. So he definitely has some heroes where he excels, where others don't really know how to play the hero and yeah, just don't really, I want to say, waste their time locking them in because they're just out of meta. But he gets the most out of it. And for the map and the composition that they play, D.Va offers a lot of things. You want to create space for Sergeant Hammer later on in the game. You want to control those shrines. And that's something where D.Va can help. Is she necessarily the best pick in that position? Probably not. Can she work here? Given that there's also a bit of a discrepancy of skill between the two teams, of course she can. So, yeah, we're going to see how much exactly is going to happen as we're heading into the mid game, because that's when it really counts. Sonya actually gets murdered over here. Yeah, but the important part is that this is still a composition that you can win with if you play your cards right. And D.Va is actually kicking this one off with a hit the Nitrous on level 1 and the Fusion Generator on level 4 right away. 10 globes already now for Jaina, so she's rotating a lot. Camps are slowly being taken as well before the first objective starts. We are still in the quarterfinal. This is a best of 3 series, and thanks to the lead that Washed Up was able to lock in on the first map, we now have a situation where there's obviously a chance to end this series with a 2-0, move on to the semi-final, and make a big step towards another grand final participation over here. But yeah, as all of this starts happening up, we have all the way to the top right, the camp taken 2, both of the teams immediately moved in, and the objective announced and about to drop here. So, let's get ready. I mean, the important part is that Khaldor, of course, for his hammer, needs level 7. He really wants that. One of the crucial talents is the level 4, the siege tactics, but you also want to have your hover siege mode on level 7, and that's something that they won't be able to get too quickly. I mean, it's only half a level, but the fight has already started. So with one more minion wave through the middle, they would be able to get the talent, and then Khaldor has a much bigger impact on all of this. But Ixia and Nick, they are all already making sure that he is being completely safe in the back. 20 stacks for Nick, by the way. Yeah, so Nick is looking pretty solid here. And interesting enough, in this game, we also have White Mane. So Pity the Frail on level 1 and the Martyrdom on level 4 now for him. And honestly, this is one of the few times that we've seen White Mane. I mean, I have seen the last White Mane pick, that must be months ago. So not really something that you see all that often. But now that we're heading into level 7 with the first Punisher, as of course already told, Hover Siege mode is in. And this is really going to be a pretty difficult push to handle, because now you have Hammer completely set up. They break through the wall like it's nothing. And they might not be able to get the fort completely destroyed, but this is going to do a whole lot of work. It's a 4 versus 4 setup that we now have here. And yeah, given that there's another 48% on the Punisher, you know what? This might actually be a fort after all. I mean, it's a Mortar Punisher, not necessarily the strongest here, but they're just burning that structure down. And D.Va is waiting in the shadows, ready for another quick boost to push the heroes away if there's a follow-up. But there's none. So the fort is down, and that's only 4.5 minutes into the game. So at this point, 25 stacks on Cassia. And yeah, they're doing fairly well here. That's a great opening. Again, half level ahead, 1 structure down. And all of that based off a single kill. 1 kill is all that they got earlier. So with this, we now have our setup down here in the middle. And down at the bottom, and our 5 versus 4. Nick Low gets wrecked right away, and that's 1 kill. They're looking for another one, and they get it too. Double kill for Disgusting. Haven't given up on this one yet. Might have been a little bit of a sad start into the game, not winning the objective, losing the fort, but they are fighting back now as much as they can. Okay. Up towards the top, Ixia is already sitting there. And in the middle, Sonya is trying to defend the wave as much as she can. Down to the bottom of the map, that's currently where we still have the camp taken care of. I mean, Hazo has the range, so there's no big problem for him to deal with it. And Nick obviously is already starting on the camp as everybody on Disgusting has moved back. They needed mana, needed hit points. Hearthstone back, and they're all good to go. And teams just moving for camps, generally speaking, at this point. Have a little bit of a skirmish here in the middle as they're trying to go for D.Va. Level 10 abilities are in. And D.Va... Oh, D.Va goes down. Killed by Lucio. Kind of fitting. Kind of fitting. Okay, so... Now that we have the level 10 abilities, as usual, also the extra burst damage that comes from Hazorps, with him coming for the blunt force gun. The BFG. It's actually a nice interpretation of what BFG means. I mean, if you learned anything from Doom in particular, but even before that, of course, is that BFG means big fucking gun, and Hazo definitely has more than only one. I mean, just look at that model. It's like guns blazing. It's hammer time, and not for nothing. Masquerade coming in. Oh, whiffing the blessed shield completely. They're still going for Lucio, but he survives, and instead Nick is in trouble. Whiteman keeping him alive for ages, but there's still the kill. Yeah, that blessed shield miss definitely hurt them. Now they're still trying to turn it though. 1 kill is already in, and a lot of these players are super low. Lucio amongst them, but not only him. Jaina is also incredibly low, but they're all getting away here. Oh my god, that escape is real. 4 kills against 1, and they are able to make it out of the fight. They won the fight, but it feels like they lost it. I honestly don't know how else to say this. They got the kill, but if you look at the map now, they are last to the shrine because they lost so much HP that they had all fall back to the Nexus. So despite the fact that they got the kill, they pretty much lost the fight and lost a lot of time here too. And now the fight over the shrine is already starting up here. Big battle on the left side. Lavekal already low and has to retreat. Banana H also a bit in trouble on his white main. And again, everybody is focusing on the shrine itself, but it's a catch-up job for Disgusting. Washed Up is already so far ahead. 20 to 9 stacks. Not impossible to close the gap, but without a kill, it will be tricky. So they're trying to take the control here. White main is zoned out a little bit. The BFG with the damage, but what is sound barrier timing? But here comes the explosion as D.Va helps them to claim control of the shrine again. And that's now another Punisher. 40 stacks, easily reached right here. Job well done. Yeah, really good setup for them now. Can obviously attempt to go through the fort at the bottom of the map. And they're even focusing on some of the camps here at the same time. So they get another one to push the mid lane a little bit. This one is going to be gonzo. No chance to save that. 37 stacks now for Cassia. That puts Nick at 26,000 damage. Just as a comparison, we have Sergeant Hammer on 24,000, and the top damage dealer for Disgusting is Jaina with 17k, a little bit ahead of Sonya here. But the bait over the wall has to start now, and they're already breaking through the small wall so they can follow up on a stun. They're really doing their best to go for a keep already, and we're not even 10 minutes into the game. They're doing an insane amount of damage here. Sonya is slowly coming in, but the level 13 talents are ready for Washed Up, and Disgusting just doesn't have them yet. And they're going deep for this one. They're going really deep. They want to get as much damage as possible and possibly even get that keep destroyed. Maybe even get a kill here. Sonya is finally moving in with this, but it seems like the keep is going to fall. And again, we're 9.5 minutes in. 9.5 minutes and the first keep is down. Mad damage done. And even with the BFG trying to pick up another kill. Fantastic setup from Washed Up as they are taking a significant lead. They might not be heavily ahead in experience, but structurally speaking, they have now taken a mad lead over their opponent. Alright. Over here, also a little bit of a slowdown. They were maybe trying to force a bit of a fight. Oh, the fail on the mosh pit. Ah, that hurt. Lava Carl, he was so close. They tried, they were aggressive, they wanted to go for a fight. He can't get it. Good slide over here. Maybe now a kill opportunity, but missing the mosh pit definitely hurt. That was unfortunate. That could have been so much better. And here goes Lucio as Nick comes in and connects another Lightning Fury. And that's the end of Lucio. Sonya is also getting attacked. Nick wants the kill. Nick gets the kill. And they are looking for the triple as they are starting to isolate ETC. That's 3 down. What a perfect setup now again for Washed Up. They're closing the gap in kills. And Nick is just murdering them now. Nick is absolutely destroying. 51 stacks for him now, sits at 41,000 damage. They can't really go for core. Death timers are just simply too low, but they can definitely go into the middle and try to take the wall down and put a bit of initial pressure onto the keep so that with the next objective they potentially can take the keep and maybe even the core. What a setup again. They might even be able to take the keep down itself. I mean, there's a camp pushing together with them. Hazorps is there with Hammer from the distance. But even if they can't, it's so low already, it's going to be a mad problem as the game continues one way or another. And I think it's at least for now going to be saved. But with level 16 talents just being so close now for Washed Up, once they have it, I don't think you can hold on to that. Not with Sergeant Hammer just simply moving in and moving out the entire time. And there's level 16. And that gives us first and foremost the static electricity. And we now have Giant Killer too. So Giant Killer is in and the keep is down. What a beautiful setup for Washed Up again. They are so close of winning this with the 2-0 and advancing to their semifinals. Blessed Shield missing again. A little bit of a theme here today. Masquerade, what happened? Maybe a beer too many for lunch earlier today. Not quite sure what's going on here. Or roots. Goodbye, Lucio. Alright, Lucio is dead, and now they can focus pretty quickly over towards the top in an attempt to take the next fort down to. And the red team can only try and soak experience. Of course, that's the only thing that they can really do at this point. Alright, a little bit of a push up at the top side now too, trying to break through the wall even more. I mean, it's kind of insane how dominant they are right now. They are absolutely crushing at this point. Yeah, but a tough position, and this is going to be a freebie right here. Alright, well, we have Washed Up actually setting this one up. Guys, again, quick reminder, if you want to support the channel and also support the work that I do here for esports, if you go over to patreon.com/Khaldor, you can do exactly that. Big shout out to everybody that actually supports me already there, and honestly, it's the only reason why all of this is still possible, especially with the YouTube coverage, since ad revenue has heavily dropped, and Heroes Esports in particular is suffering a little bit. All that support is heavily appreciated, so thank you very much for that, and a big shout out to everybody that is already supporting out there. Big setup over here too, as we're heading into the next fight. Bit of a desperate attempt with level 16 talents now, of course, but Sonya is down. And, well, that's the end of Jaina too. So with all of them eliminated and the objective about to be taken, this is looking more and more like this is going to be the death blow. That Protector, sorry, that Punisher alone would already drop the core if they, oh, yeah. If they let it happen, and that's another kill against ETC. And it's just a bit too much for them to handle. They're still chasing Imperius, but the only one making it towards the core. Nice move! I like it. They of course knew exactly what would happen there, and Hazu was waiting on the other side in order to get the kill. But it's Nick that jumps in once more with his 73 stacks that he has, and gets the kill secured. Well done by him. And this is gonna lead us to, I guess, a semi-final spot for Washed Up. They're dominant once again, playing absolutely fantastic over here. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Well played. Sonya is down, the core is already falling. And just like that, Washed Up once again with a dominant 2-0 victory in a best-of-3 series, advances to the next round of the tournament. Panda Cup qualifier number 3. And we are heading into the semi-finals. GG and well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.